Hello, everyone. This is a book review. The book we will be doing today is Tubalo's Green Fire, and the author is Shani Oates. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is not a very typical book. It's based off of the teachings of the clan of Tubal Cain, which, from my understanding, they go off the teachings of one Robert Cochrane. Again, I hope I pronounced that right. And it's a very Luciferian, mystic kind of path. Reading this book, I could definitely see that is a much more mystic tradition than most other forms of the craft. Because this is a paganic witchcraft tradition as much as it's the Luciferian Gnostic one, it seems. So, with all that considered, how does this book hold up? How do these essays present themselves? So, I started reading this. I was immediately, hooked. I really like the author's writing style. I like how poetic it can be. I appreciate just how many sources the author has to explain kind of interpretations and gnosis. I always think that's a good thing to have in addition to just knowing. It's very well written, well organized. The information in this can be quite dense at times, but it's really good, I think. I think that so many books do not consider how to put information in there, especially those who don't cater to beginners. This book does not cater to beginners, and I think it shines through for that reason. And it's rather interesting and surprising sometimes where the author goes with the topic at hand. I really appreciated that. The only two critiques I have, they're kind of more of a little bit of, I guess, stylistic nitpicks. People who might have trouble with, poetic styles, especially with reading them, might find this book a little bit, harder to read. I, kind of found myself having to reread sentences over and over, and I usually have to do that, but for this book, it happened several times more than I expected, and it kind of takes away from the immersion sometimes, but it's not that bad between essays. I also didn't like how kind of haphazard the sources seem to be thrown in the notes. Luckily there is a bibliography in the back that has all the same sources, so there is that. But other than those two really minor things, the book itself, the content is just immensely useful, immensely powerful, just really, really interesting ways of talking about them within these essays. So, if you couldn't tell already, I do recommend this. I'm not recommending it to those starting out in any kind of witchcraft or mysticism. Likewise, intermediates and enthusiasts who might not be versed in mystic traditions might have a harder time with this book. But for those who are interested in it for whatever reason, and are willing to either put in the work to understand what the author is saying, or are confident they can interpret the author well, I actually really do recommend this book. And this is the author of Athema Publishing. If you want to read any more works, I'm in the process of reading 2 more books from this author now. I'll get to those book reviews when I can, but yeah. Okay, I hope everybody found that helpful. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see on this channel, do at the very least consider subscribing. I try to post a new video every other Saturday. I hope to see you around.